Hey guys, how you doing? This is jpsarrireviews coming to you once again with another episode of Age of Heroes, my podcast. Actually, this is episode number 145. I'm so amazed just to think that it's been pretty much a whole year. This podcast started almost a year ago. And it just has grown so much to the point that now I can say, hey, I have 145 episodes. It is an accomplishment, and it has to do a lot with you paying attention, listening, watching in YouTube, but also following, supporting, leaving comments, and, really pushing me to do this. And I appreciate your support. Now, yesterday, it was a fantastic day, I would say, for geeks, for fans of Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, Pixar, with the creation, well, in this case, the opening or the great, I would say the beginning of the Disney Plus app and Disney Plus service. We were waiting for it for months. We were so excited for it. I was really excited, looking forward to it. And to finally have it here, it is kind of surreal to have a lot of content, this type of content all together in one single place where you can go and watch it. I'm a big fan of Marvel, of course. You know that. You know that. I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I'm a big fan of a lot of stuff that Disney has done. And definitely I'm so excited for this app. And I can tell you, yesterday was kind of hectic. Early in the morning, I downloaded the apps on my television and on my phone and a lot of places and my streaming services and all of that. I went and downloaded all of that. And it was giving me a hard time. It was giving a lot of people a hard time. I went online and other people were experiencing the same thing. I kind of imagined that would happen. I don't know why Disney did not try to allow for people to download the app days in advance. Kind of like when you purchase a game online through PS4, Xbox One, you can download the game even before you can play it. I don't know why they didn't go that way. It seems like everything is last minute. It seems that Disney has been kind of building the infrastructure for it kind of last minute. It's not, I would say, the content is good. Now, the platform is a bit shaky still. And of course, you cannot compare this with Netflix that has been doing this for many years, and it has the infrastructure, it has the pretty much the manpower, the equipment, the pretty much everything necessary to run very smoothly. It's not at that level yet, but the content itself is good. And there are a couple of things there that they need improvement. Yesterday I enjoyed the first episode of The Mandalorian. I think it was a very good episode. I was thinking about reviewing it, but I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'm going to just enjoy the entire show so I can review it. It's not fair just to review episode after episode, in my opinion. I know some people do it, but every episode, it kind of leads to the next episode. So it's kind of unfair just to review everything in single parts. So I'll wait until the end and I review the entirety of the show. But so far, I can tell you one thing. It's good. I like the first, I wouldn't say it's the perfect first episode. There were a couple of things there that were not as good. But for the most part, the episode is very strong. And really, it has this dark tone to it that really pretty much feels well within the Star Wars lore. It does have the right tone, and I'm so glad. I think people that have been fans of this, older fans, will be happy with this version, or this, in this case, this introduction to the Star Wars world. But also younger fans. I think it really encompasses a lot of things and definitely gives a lot. It's going to go into give more information about the Mandalorian, about, in this case, the Feds and all of that. It's going to give us more information. So definitely it's a treat, particularly if you're a big fan of not only Star Wars films, but also you've been a big fan of the Star Wars comics. So you're going to see a lot of it. I don't know. It just felt so good. But definitely there's a lot of the movies there, Marvel movies, which I already own. It's not like I need to buy them, but definitely it's good to have them there. But there were a lot of stuff from Disney, a lot of cartoons. There has a lot of cartoons there, some classic Marvel cartoons. So definitely is the perfect, in my opinion, the perfect setup. There's some improvements that need to be made. For example, I'm not really a big fan of, technically, I didn't find a way to actually kind of go from one episode. You're watching a series. For example, I was watching Ultimate Spider-Man. It doesn't go from one episode to the next. Kind of skips to another episode. It skips the intro, the credits, and all of that, like you can do it with Netflix, which I think is kind of dumb that it's not doing it. Hopefully they can fix that. And there were some, I would say, stability problems. Sometimes there was some lag, particularly with the Mandalorian. I noticed that, but I think they're gonna fix it over time. I'm sure that a lot of people are trying to download it. They try. If I heard correctly, they trying to get 8 million subscribers in order to really come out even. I think they're gonna do it. They're doing the trial. So if you're in North America, if you haven't tried, I recommend that you just go to the trial, try it out for 7 days. If you feel that it's not really, this maybe not the time to do it, maybe wait a couple of days over the weekend, start the trial. There's a lot of content for everyone. They have National Geographic content. They have a lot of cartoons. So you have a family, kids, all that. They have cartoons, they have all kind of things, shorts. It's still, you have to realize that there's going to be some improvements to be made. But actually, I do like, in this case so far, not only the content, but also I like the pretty much the page, the way things are set up. It's closer to Netflix in one way. I think it's better than even the way that it's formatted, than Hulu. But it's just a thing. They're all kind of all the same. But I do like this. If I have to compare this with DC Universe, definitely this is a lot better than DC Universe. As much as I like DC, they don't really have as much content. They didn't give a lot of stuff. They should have done something with Warner Brothers and DC included. Everything that has to do with Warner Brothers and DC. That would have made sense, because this is what, in this case, Disney Plus is doing. It's not only giving us DC, in this case, Disney stuff. And that's the first time. It's not the first time Disney has done something like this. They used to have Disney everywhere, anywhere. Now it's movies anywhere. But nobody really cared much because it was only Disney. But now, because they have included, not only they have the Disney stuff, they also have all the movies that they are under their banners. So they have the in this case the Narnia movies. They got the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Avatar movie. They have a lot of movies. Of course, anything that has to do with Star Wars, anything that has to do with Marvel. So there's a lot of content already there. So it's good. So now, I'm sharing how I feel. I'm excited for it. I think it's a good entry, and it is definitely stating, and it's bringing a new, I would say, era in the streaming services, and that's true. I have talked about it in this podcast before. First of all, price point. It is very convenient. It is lower than anybody else. And definitely that's something that a lot of people are going to jump on it. Particularly you have a family. If you have, kids, definitely this is perfect for them. There's everything you can have for family content. It is there. So definitely a lot of people are going to support it. Definitely it is a gamble from Disney, but I think it's going to pay out in the end. And I'm very happy for that. But definitely it starts a new era in the streaming service. And now we have seen this for years. It's been a while. We have seen this development where people definitely have cut the cord with cable. They have moved from cable into streaming services. From Netflix was the beginning of everything, and then every single service has followed suit. And there's so many different services, and of course you can see how now the companies are adapting more and more into the services. Now you have, of course, we already talked about DC Universe. You have HBO also pushing that, through the different things, creating content for that. Amazon Prime Video creating content for that. So there's a lot of stuff now through all these different services that are just coming to really kind of take that void that people are walking away from cable, which is it's amazing to see how entertainment is evolving into a situation where actually you can choose what you want instead of just being set into what the cable companies tell you what you need to watch, what the studios want you to watch, or where you are limited. And what I like about what Disney is doing is the fact that they've given A+ content within their services. One of the things that I love a lot of stuff that Netflix does, but a lot of the stuff Netflix does is not necessarily something that I care much about. And the same happens with Prime Video, with other services. They give you stuff not necessarily for everyone, but here with Disney, they're giving you the A+, the A titles. They're giving you all the Marvel stuff. The only thing that was missing from the Marvel, it was the newer Thor. In this case, Thor Ragnarok was missing. I think, in this case, Ant-Man and the Wasp was missing. Infinity War was missing. That's the only three. But everything else they have on their catalog, everything was there. So as I think Black Panther was also missing. So, but everything else is just pretty much already, included. So you have so much of the pretty much, AAA titles, so you have things from Star Wars. You have the whole lineup of movies from Star Wars from beginning to end, from New Hope all the way to, in this case to, in this Force Awakens. They don't have the last one, or the one that is coming, of course, not gonna be there, but they had everything else. They didn't have they didn't have Solo there, but they had everything else. So it is definitely a good time, I would say, for fans, because you have so much content. You have everything they have, all the brand new movies. It's gonna go there at some point. So at some point, it's like people saying, what's the point of doing other services or paying for cable when actually I can have this service? So it's definitely not, it's dictating the price point, which is going to force other companies to lower their price and be more competitive and create more content that can compete with, in this case, Disney. With Marvel, with Star Wars, it's going to force those companies to compete. And that's good. It's good news. Also, at the same time, you have to be cautiously optimistic, because you're going to get also, now that all the attention is turning there, of course, at some point, people, when they walk away completely from cable, when our dependency is, stays with the streaming, then of course they can dictate what we watch again. So ultimately, it's a matter of choice. And hopefully this also helps other companies to jump on board and create content and to be more competitive. And that's what I would like to see from, in this case, DC, from Warner Brothers, to be competitive, to create real good content. And they also have good movies, but their service is lackluster in comparison to this one. So right now you see these two monsters. You see the one that holds pretty much the entire market right now, the ones that is at the top, which is Netflix, has been at the top for years. And now you see, of course, Disney getting into the fray. And of course, they also own Hulu. So all of those things, I don't know how Hulu is going to be affected by it or how it's going to be benefited by it, but just only time will tell. And, they talk about packages. They haven't really, tell us much, give us much information in regards to it. But we know that we're going to get to see those packages as time progresses, as time goes on. But how, we don't know. But so far, really it's exciting. And hopefully this dictates and, kind of opens the door for services to be more open, but also to provide better service with better quality products, better quality shows, movies, not just whatever they throw. Because that was the thing with sometimes a lot of services. You can see that sometimes with Netflix. You have seen that with services like, I would say, Hulu and some other services. All they have is a lot of junk that is thrown out there. They have so many movies. And I wouldn't say that Disney doesn't have that. There's a lot of junk there too, but all of that is thrown in there just to kind of fluff it up and make it look nice. But you want new stuff, you want the new content, you want the new movies. So we'll see what happens. This is a really good experiment, and definitely it's really starting well. I know a lot of people are gonna complain, and I've seen a lot of videos now on YouTube. A lot of people are already complaining, saying, well, the service started bad, it didn't work out for me, it didn't do that. It was expected, and the first couple of hours, the first day, you're gonna have problems. It's just a stability problems. It just happens. But eventually, I didn't watch it. I was at work, so I didn't have problems until I came home. I didn't have a problem. In the morning was a little hard time just to download the apps, but I came in this evening and it seems fine. It was working fine with me. So I would say that it's going to get better over time, but I imagine that a lot of people are just there, flooding, the servers, trying to watch the shows. Because everybody is interested. It's definitely it's pretty much the thing that it's going to be in everybody's mouth throughout pretty much the week. People are going to be talking about it. They're going to be reviewing this. They're going to be watching the shows, the movies, all of that. They're going to be reviewing the service. So definitely there's a lot of things again that need improvement, but so far so good. So that's I would say it is to me. I'm satisfied so far. I'm gonna continue watching throughout pretty much the trial. I'm gonna stick with it for sure, and we'll see what happens. But definitely it's excited. I wouldn't say that I'm too crazy about just having weekly episodes, because I like to watch this type of shows, being watching to get all the episodes together. But I understand, and it excites people to keep watching on a weekly basis. Definitely excited for everything that is coming, the Marvel shows, all the stuff that they have announced. They have so much stuff they have announced that it really looks interesting. So far, the Mandalorian is starting pretty strong, and I like that. But what is your opinion? What do you think? Have you watched the Mandalorian, the first episode? Have you tried the service? Are you in North America? You're able to do it? I feel bad for my friends in Europe that are unable, in parts of the world that haven't able to do it now. But I can tell you one thing, definitely it's a very good service so far. The content is comments there, and looking forward, for that you have to, you have it soon, so you can also share your opinion with me. So my friends, please let me know how you feel about this service. Are you happy with that, or you're not happy with Disney at all? You don't want to give your money to Disney, which I understand. Everybody has a different opinion in regards to what Disney's been doing with Star Wars, Marvel, and so on. But my friends, let me know in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening through the podcast, through the different platforms, please, you can come to Facebook or Twitter, and you can share with me how you feel about it. I would like to hear your opinion. So my friends, God bless. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.